Thanks, Rob. Hey, Greg, Tom, nice to virtually meet you. Hey, so last night was a big night for the Wildcats with Slater going and you going in the first round. It was the first time in school history. How much pride do you take in that, and what does that say about Northwestern football?
I take so much pride in that. It says that we are not just an academic institute, but we produce players as well. And that's something that we've been trying to, tell the world for a while now. People always think, when they think of Northwestern, they just think of, smart athletes that don't have instincts and don't have the ability, to play at the next level at a very elite level. So, I'm just so proud that we are able to do this for this university. And now recruits will be able to finally realize that they can also get a top 10 academic, obviously path, but also they can get to the NFL at a very elite level.
Hey, so years from now, you're going to tell people that your last college year you played during a pandemic. And I'm just wondering, with all the challenges that you presented last year, mentally, physically, what have you, what did you learn from that experience? What did that teach you that you can take going forward?
Yeah, it taught me that I can handle a lot. And, it tells me that there's not going to be too many or really any situation that I'm not going to be able to handle and overcome and actually learn and get better from. So, I feel like that all athletes who had to go through this adversity and had to, miss games or get games canceled or miss practice or quarantine and do all those different things, I feel as if, we're all stronger as people now, just because that adversity is something that the world has really rarely seen in this Earth's history.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Nate Ulrich is next.
Hey, Greg, just wondering kind of, since we talked to you last night, what kind of reaction have you soaked in from the fan base, from some of your new teammates? And just, how are you feeling coming into Cleveland and visiting the facility?
Yeah, before I got drafted to Cleveland, I always knew that the dog pound was it. But, after I get drafted and I see the support from the fans is just amazing, honestly. And I'm honestly ready right now to, I wish we could play a game right now and have all the fans there and they can support me and things like that and support this team. I'm so ready to give it my all for these fans. I said it before, I knew how much support they gave me, but now I'm even more ready to give them all I got. And, obviously with my teammates, just some of the guys reaching out to me, whether that was text message or, quoting me on Twitter or something like that, that just shows the brotherhood at this team. I haven't yet to meet any of them personally, but, as soon as I get drafted, they're welcoming me with, open arms already. So I just can't wait to be a part of this organization.
You have any takeaways from meeting the coaches today or Andrew Berry, anybody in the facility?
Yeah, so I'm actually about to meet them a little bit after this. I've talked to a few of them, but one thing that I've gotten from all of them in general is just that hard work aspect, and that's just something that I do already. So I think we're gonna fit well, very well together.
Thank you, Nate. We'll go to Scott Petrick.
Hey, Greg. Which receivers are you looking forward to facing? And does it feel kind of even more real now that you're in an NFL facility that you'll be going up against big-time guys pretty soon?
Yeah, that's amazing. That's the best part about this all, honestly. I'm a competitor, so I'm looking forward to going against all, the best receivers in the league. And, we got two of them right here on this team. So, honestly, I'm looking forward to going against those guys. Iron sharpens iron, and at practice is where you're going to get better. So I'm just looking forward to going against Jarvis, Odell, DPJ, all those guys every single day of practice.
Besides the guys on your roster, is there a guy or two in the league that you kind of always grew up saying, hey, this is a guy I want to try to face one-on-one?
Yeah, honestly, it's a guy like Julio Jones. That's a guy, definitely. He's an older guy, a vet, and he has done it all already. So that would be a cool guy. I wanted to see Larry Fitzgerald too, just because he's another icon as well in the game. But I'm just looking forward to guarding everybody and just proving myself out there in the league.
Thanks.
Where did you go to school?
I went to Northwestern.
Okay, yes sir. Go Cats.
Go Cats.
Yes sir.
Glad we were able to make that connection. We'll go to Mary Kay Cabot next.
Yeah, Greg, just wondering, it's kind of a little bit of hurry up and wait. Here you are, so excited to get started, only for all of you guys to be conducting basically virtual OTAs and those kinds of things right now. So my question to you is, how will you try to get connected with your teammates, get to know them, and then also where will you work out? Who will you work out with? Do you have a place where you will do that?
Yeah, so I think obviously we can build a bond via text and just in meeting rooms and just talking to those guys like that. But ultimately, it's very hard, and that's something that we had to do at Northwestern as well. Just acclimating, the freshmen and things like that. And I just think, when you choose certain guys on the team, like here they choose specific guys that they know have certain traits. So I don't think it would be hard at all to get used to talking to those guys. And like I alluded to earlier, with just those guys reaching out to me like that, just shows already that it's not going to be hard to get along with guys like that. But I'm training right now at school until mini camp starts. I'm going to be at school at Northwestern, just training with the guys that got me to this position today.
And have you gotten a chance to talk to or communicate with John Johnson at all yet? I mean, did you hear from him? I mean, you guys kind of have similar personalities, and I was just wondering if you guys had a chance to connect yet.
No, I haven't been able to talk to John Johnson. That'll be cool though. That's the next guy that I'm gonna try to get connected with.
Do you sort of, just from what you've seen and heard from him, can you kind of tell that he, has sort of an outgoing personality similar to yours?
Yeah, just from seeing interviews and things like that, just watching him talk, like that's a guy that I definitely like you said, I think we're gonna gel great and we're gonna play well together. So that's a guy I'm definitely looking forward to talking to.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Kay. Jeff Shadell, go ahead.
Hey, Greg, thanks for your time again. Describe yourself as a football player and what it will be like taking that next step from the Big Ten to the NFL.
Yeah, myself as a football player, first is just I'm a competitor at the end of the day, and I'm very, very confident. So I'm not going to take any play off. I'm not going to shy away from any type of competition, whatever receiver lines up in front of me. I'm going to be ready to go. I don't care who it is. I'm going to be ready, and I'm going to be ready to prove myself. I don't care if it's to the Julios or it doesn't matter who the receiver is. I'm going to be ready to go, and I'm going to try to perform at the best of my ability. But at the end of the day, also I'm just one of the biggest competitors. I hate to lose. It's always what people say, do you like winning? Would you rather, like the quote with the losing and the winning? Like I literally hate to lose. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting around a group of guys who also have that same mindset as me.
Thanks, Jeff. Let's go to Daryl Ryder.
Hey, Greg, after we talked to you last night, the video came out of, you getting the call from the Browns. And I was just wondering if you could kind of take us through your emotions and just that scene. You answer the phone and you're telling everyone to quiet down. You hang up the phone and you just said Cleveland, and everyone in the room just kind of, burst out in jubilation there. So could you just kind of take us through that moment, what you were thinking, what you were feeling. And then obviously after you hung up the phone, everyone's celebrating with you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was a little bit nervous, like the draft is starting to come to a close and I haven't been picked yet. And I was expected to go a little bit higher. So I was like, at first I was just sitting back like this, chilling. I see the phone where I was like my eyes just got wide. I was like, oh snap, I'm about to get picked. And I was just like, everybody quiet. I want to make sure I hear it, make sure it's like, I was trying to make sure they were actually picking me. Like I was just trying to make sure everything was clear. But it was a great moment. And as soon as I seen it was Cleveland, I was like, this is exactly where I was supposed to be. And this is a team, I feel like was in a similar position as Northwestern. Like they're right at that step to being at the very, very top. So I can kind of see, the transition from them to us. And then also like a guy like Anthony Walker, that's a guy I talk to all the time. That's like my big brother. And he told me before the draft, he's like, hey, bro, you're going to Cleveland. And I was like, okay. Like you can't really guarantee that I'm going to Cleveland. And when I got that call from Cleveland, I was just so excited to be a part, of this organization.
And, you talked last night about getting to learn from Greedy and John Johnson and Denzel and the guys that are already here. And today some of the receivers are you're going to get to go against Jarvis and Odell in practice. Just what can those two guys do for you to, I guess, welcome you to the NFL, but also make you a better football player?
Yeah, I think it's just to test and compete against me every single day. Like those are two guys that are at the top of their game. So I imagine only at practice that they're practicing just like that. So I mean, just going hard at practice just alone is going to get me better. And I mean, obviously they're going to make some plays. I'm going to make some plays, and just talking about it after and just seeing some things that they notice that I can fix and things that I notice with them. So like I think, like I said, iron sharpens iron, and I feel like we can learn from each other. So I just can't wait to get those guys in the building and just pick their brain a little bit.
Thanks, Gerald. Tony Grossi, go ahead.
Hey, Greg, can you tell us a little bit about your academic career at Northwestern? Are you on course to graduate at some point?
Yeah, so I was an early enrollee as a freshman. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, my first quarter, I was like, man, football, it's football, it's football. I'm gonna lock in on football. So my GPA wasn't necessarily bad, but I really wasn't, paid and locked in on football. And I had to realize one of my goals was to declare for the draft, be the first 3 and done in Coach Fitz's tenure. And I knew that, first of all, I wasn't gonna be able to do it if I didn't get my degree because my mother was gonna kill me. So I was like, let me lock in and make sure that I get my classes done. But after that first quarter and everything, I finally began to get a little bit more organized and things like that, and was able to boost my GPA up crazy. And I just honestly, it just comes down to time management. And when I put my mind to something, and I want to be the best at it, school is one of those as well. So when I got in the classroom, I wanted to be the best in everything I do. So I just put my head down, worked in that, and it has put me in this position right now to graduate this quarter. And
you got your hands on a lot of balls. You had a lot of pass breakups in your career, but one interception. What's the story there? Did you miss some or just unlucky or what?
Yeah, a lot of people say my hands are bricks, which is not true at all. I'm gonna tell you guys, I can catch the football. I play receiver my whole career. I got a bunch of picks in high school. For some reason, I just wasn't getting them in college, and I'm gonna turn that around definitely. But now, on a serious note, I missed some out there. There were some times where I just didn't trust my eyes necessarily and go out there and make the play. So there are some things I'm doing right now in this offseason to help me get better at some things, get better at playing the deep ball. I'm just trying to perfect my craft just so when I get here to Cleveland, I'm not just getting past breakups. I'm trying to be a game changer and being able to change the momentum of a game entirely.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Tony. Let's go to Nate Ulrich.
Hey, Greg, I just want to follow up on Anthony Walker. Like, obviously, you guys didn't overlap with your playing time there, but how did you guys develop that relationship? Was it just him coming back, and then have you guys talked since last night?
Yeah, I think it's honestly I just feel like if you were a part of Northwestern, you would see how we developed that relationship. Like we're just a band, literally, we're brothers from offensive line to cornerback to punter. Like we're all so cool and so close. So like a guy like A-Walk, like you said, I didn't actually play with him. I really met him in person, probably only 2 or 3 times, but we just started talking, and he's just a guy. He was like, man, look, if you ever need something, if you need any advice, just hit me up. So, we started our relationship like that. And then just from now, that's just like my big brother. Like anything I need, I text him. If I needed any advice, I text him. Like going into this process, he was telling me bro, just be patient. You'll be all right. So that's just a guy, that I feel like at Northwestern, it just shows you the type of brotherhood we have. And I could just tell the same way with the Browns, with them hitting me up, it honestly means so much. And just, it just shows the brotherhood they have here as well.
Does it give you some sense of comfort that you kind of have a guy to show you the ropes as you make this transition?
Most definitely. I mean, like I said, I'm the first in my family to be a part of it and do something like this, but just to see some older guys in Northwestern do it and be successful at it, it just kind of eases the process a little bit, and just it gives me a sense of what I should not be doing and a sense of what I should be doing to be the best pro that I can be.
Thanks, Nate. We'll go to 3 more people. Aditi Kinkhabwala, Scott Petrick, Mary Kay Cabot. Aditi, go ahead.
Hi. Greg, you last night were so excited. You said, I'm a Cleveland Brown, and you keep talking about feeling like you're at home. That's sort of different from what the Browns have been for a good 20 years. What is it about the Browns that makes you so excited?
Yeah, I think it just starts with the first thing first is when they told me like you are our pick. Like that means so much to me. Like they wanted me to come to this program. So that alone just tells me what I needed to hear. Like obviously I would love to go to a team like if they just grabbed me earlier off a need, but this is an organization that handpicked and really, really wanted me, not just from a need. So that just first things first, just making me so proud to be a part of an organization like this. I mean, and just second is just like I said, the guys here, playing with a guy like Baker, having a confident quarterback is just enlightening, and just guys want to be around a winner like that. He's won his whole career as well, so it's definitely going to be cool to be around a guy like that. But this organization it took its next step up, and I just can't wait to be a part of it, and be a part of that Super Bowl team.
Okay, and one more. Your outfit last night. Sorry, you said girls can play too, and that's mine. So I apologize. What was that all about? The Stop Asian Hate, the Black Lives Matter, and about women bawling also.
Yeah, I'm just big in the community. That's just something that I've been my whole life, and starting with the women can ball too. Like my girlfriend, my sisters, they have all played basketball their whole life, and I'm one of the biggest super fans you'll meet. Like I'll be at all the games. You could probably find an article about me super fanning at a lacrosse game, at a basketball game. Like I just feel as if women don't get the same equality as men in the world, and I think that should change. Just because a women aren't the same athlete as can dunk the basketball doesn't mean their game isn't great, and doesn't mean they don't deserve the same recognition. So I'm just trying to preach that to everybody, and trying to start the trend upward for that, for women, just to get equality around the world. And just with the Asian hate and things like that, that's kind of the same with Black Lives Matter, in the sense where people aren't getting treated just because of how they look, and that's just obviously not okay at all. So I'm just trying to get the message out, and just trying to be somebody that people know, the people that are getting marginalized and things like that, like they know that at least Greg Newsome is going to be somebody that's going to push for them, and try to get them equality.
Thank you, Aditi. We'll go to Scott Petrick.
Hey, Greg, Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski were both complimentary of your ability to play press, off, zone. And what about your skill set makes you able to do all those things equally well?
Yeah, I think it's just like I'm not necessarily the biggest corner, but I'm not a small corner as well. So I think I'm the perfect balance to be able to do all those things. And I just think that just my movement ability and things like that. And honestly, it's just being a competitor at the end of the day, whether you're playing off, whether you're playing press. My goal is to not let you catch the ball, period. I don't care if I'm off and you're going to run a hitch. Obviously, if I was pressed, it would be easier to stop a hitch. But I don't care what I'm playing. Like at the end of the day, if you're not catching the ball, I'm doing my job. So that's just me being a competitor. But I just think my frame and my body type allows me to be able to do it all.
Is there one you prefer the most?
Yeah, I prefer pressing.
Press.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thanks, Scott. And our final question goes to Mary Kay Cabot.
Yeah, Greg, I noticed yesterday that one of the first guys that reached out to you on Twitter was Greedy Williams, somebody who, you'll be competing with him basically for that number 2 cornerback spot. So just wondering what that meant to you that Greedy did that. And also, is he one of the guys that you're probably really looking forward to connecting with?
Yeah, I mean, that just tells you who Greedy is as a person. He just wants to win at the end of the day. He's also a competitor. Like he wouldn't tell you like, oh, I want him to come, take the job or anything like that. We're going to go compete at the end of the day, and whoever else is in the corner room is going to compete. But that just shows you how he is as a person. He's a guy, I can tell already, I don't know him, but he's a guy who just wants the best for the team. He'll do whatever he can do for the team to win. And, that's definitely somebody I want to connect to. That's a guy that I actually was watching while he was, at LSU and things like that. So that's a guy that I've been watching. We kind of got similar frames. Us, me, Greedy, and Denzel Ward all, got similar frames. So we all probably play around the same, but I can just learn from all those guys. And, you know, he's a guy who's dealt with some adversity. So has I in my career as well. So, you know, we could definitely connect on that level too. But I'm definitely just waiting to get in that room, obviously, and talk to a guy like Greedy and just learn from him and just compete. Because at the end of the day, if we're not competing, you know, we're not going to be good as a team.
And were you aware of what he went through last year where he had the nerve damage in the shoulder and wasn't able to play the whole season and kind of had to fight to come back from that?
Yes, ma'am.